What did your neighbor do to earn the title of crazy? My friends used to live in a gentrifying neighborhood near the beach in my city. They had a regular apartment, but someone bought the building in front of them, beach adjacent, knocked it down, and put up a few luxury homes. This crazy woman bought one. She had a 2-car garage and a driveway, and best we could tell, she had 1 car. But no one was allowed to park on the street in front of her house, which was clearly marked as a public street and where people had been parking since forever to go to the beach or because their building didn't have parking. We could see this street from their apartment. She went out and keyed any cars parked there. It took a while to figure out it was her, but eventually people saw her doing it. All the neighbors warned their friends not to park there, and people started putting up cameras to get evidence of it. Some dude with a piece of crap, ugly truck started parking directly in front of her house every day just to mess with her because he didn't care if she scratched it up. So she slashed his tires. It got to the point where every time she opened her door to walk outside, neighbors would cuss her out through their windows. One night, she went out in the middle of the night and painted the entire curb on that street red.
That's illegal.
Someone got it on video and several neighbors called the city. I think she got a talking to and a fine, and she had several insurance claims pending against her from damage to cars, and she finally stopped. Everyone still hates her, though, even new neighbors who are told the story of her from older residents. Username says, I live in a row house in the bad part of my city. Not the best accommodations, I know, but you take what you can get. I've had a lot of crappy neighbors over the years, and the house next to me has been raided 3 times by the police.
There they are.
Twice for dealers, once for a guy that came here from New York State, I'm in PA, who was wanted for really bad things. Not the nicest neighborhood, so obviously bad neighbors are going to come around, but one family takes the cake. As you may have guessed, my neighbors change every few months, usually due to eviction. So a couple of years ago, in moves a middle-aged woman with her teenage son and a daughter who was something like 6 years old. New neighbors, no big deal. I didn't go to greet them or anything. That stuff is pretty atypical here. It's kind of a live and let live place. On the first night, I noticed there would be problems. The music was blasting from the kid's room. He was right next to me, against the same wall, until 11 p.m. This actually isn't bad in my neighborhood, but what was bad was what made it stop. He only turned it off once his mom started yelling at him to do so. And then she kept yelling. She was screaming her head off at him for every insignificant little detail about his room that he had moved into today until 3 in the freaking morning. I just went downstairs to sleep on the couch instead of bothering to try to get to sleep with that noise going. Fast forward a couple of days, and I am answering the door on a Saturday morning only to see that it is in fact the lady from next door. I was polite and courteous, as was she, and she had said she just wanted to get to know her new neighbors. We spoke for maybe 5 minutes before I got to the catch. She wanted to borrow $6,000. That was the cost for her husband's bail. And it would mean a lot to her if, as her neighbor, I would loan her the $6,000. I was as apologetic as I could manage and turned her down. She